This is a 64 and 8 on Domination using the ACR bling with red dot silencer, stopping power, and sit rep pro. This is with a bunch of randoms, and it was the first game I played the other day while I was trying to rank up my ACR. And the main reason I wanted to do this game is to show people how to predict where the other team is going to be based on what flag they have on this map. Keep in mind, this game is with a bunch of randoms, so if you're playing against a team, there would be a whole lot less spawn flips because teams tend to lock down maps and do not let you out at all. So playing with randoms is a totally different experience than playing against a team. So using these spawn flips, and depending on which flag you have, you can position yourself to get really fast kill streaks and get a lot of kills without dying, because the other team does not expect you to be there. And the way you have to look at it is treat B as a neutral flag, and always look at your main flag as A and C. The enemy is going to spawn based on A or C position, whichever one they have. But the real trick to it is understanding that when you have two flags, such as C and B or A and B, that changes the spawn as well. So if you have C and B, you will spawn on this map in the right hand street and typically have to come all the way around up the street and down to guard B, or you will have to climb up at the staircases into the buildings and up the ladders on the rooftops to guard B. That's if you have C and B. So I knew that they were going to be spawning in that street before they even started to come up, so I was in position ready to kill them for that reason. And a lot of people say, well, you're camping. Well, no, I'm not camping. I'm guarding A at the moment. And if you notice, the first few kills that I just got while I was standing on A, I actually got 100 points for versus 50 points for, and it gave me extra points simply because I was defending the position. You get extra points for being on the position and guarding it. It's domination, not team deathmatch. The purpose is not to run around, it's to guard your position. A lot of this I have learned to do from playing hardcore headquarters, and in hardcore headquarters you mainly have to work together to cut the enemy off from reaching the headquarters. You can't just simply get in the headquarters and try to take it over, because every one of you will either get tubed out or they'll run in and kill you all with shotguns. You have to actually stop them from even reaching it. So learning the cutoff positions and where they're spawning is key to actually winning that game type, and I've tried to apply that to my domination gameplay and try to learn the spawns and things like that, and it actually works really well. I've been getting a whole lot better games than I used to. Now see, when you have A and B, it's really easy to predict one thing, is that they're going to spawn directly on C. They're no longer going to spawn in the street on the right, they're going to spawn on C. And when they spawn on C, they usually run up directly up these little streets or come up into this building right here and try to take B. But where these guys really failed is in the fact that while they were running around with lightweight and marathon classes trying to take flags, they failed to actually post up and defend the flags. It's not about running around and capturing flags. If you don't defend the flag, then you're basically just running around for damn nothing. I mean, what good are you going to do if you capture the flag 100 times and lose it 100 times? You know, it's all about defense on this game type. Play defensively. This game was really hard to predict though, because there were so many flag changes. You know, I mean, they would be at C for 1 minute and then the next minute they would have A, so it was really hard to always guess where one of them would be, because there could still be some left over from the previous spawn flip. So I was really left guessing a lot of times and trying just to get out of the way to try to figure out what was going on. And this was my first chopper gunner, and this one I thought was going to be really damn good until my chopper, it really just got in a freaking bad spot, and it's like, come on motherfucker, just move up so I can kill these people. And I have had a lot of good chopper gunners lately and not got shot down that much, surprisingly. I don't know why that is. I mean, most times people do carry stingers on the other team, but if you really try to be fast and catch everybody as they spawn, you know, they don't have time to shoot you down. And see, as you can see, my chopper gunner just lowered all the way down. I couldn't track any targets, and I caught a Stinger missile from way back, which pissed me off because I don't know why in the hell it did that. If it would have come up and they were on flag A, I could have beat the shit out of those guys. And that just really freaking disappointed me. I was like, fuck, man. But as you can tell, we have C and B, and like I said before, when you have C and B, you spawn in the long street and run up. See, I even did a very predictable thing, which I try not to do. You know, I try not to be predictable because a lot of people do know these things and they pay attention to it. And see, these guys, once again, instead of defending the flags they have, they're playing offensively, which is a mistake that I made for a long time, and it got me killed a lot. It's not something you should do. I did forget to mention the fact that when you only have A, that you will normally spawn in the playground right there where I just spawned, and around that, and when you have A and B, you'll still typically spawn there, which makes A and B the ideal flags to have on this map because it makes it easier to guard B. Now, these guys, once again, have C and B, so I'm already in position in the same exact spot I was at the start of the match to kill them, and they are still running at me and letting me kill them. I knew they were going to be coming from that direction before they even got there. That's how it's easy to get kills, being set up for the enemy. And now we are taking B, and they have C, which means they are going to be running up the streets and onto the rooftops. But since I just got a Predator missile, I decided to get the hell out because I do not want to be on that area when they have C, because usually there will be someone on the rooftop of C or in the windows of C, and that garden is not an ideal spot to be when they have C. But here once again there is another spawn flip, so I have no fucking idea where these guys are going to be. That is why I am just pretty much going to camp out this streak right here and just try to get my Harrier and wait it out, because, I mean, this shit was getting ridiculous with the spawn flips. I was like, come on, seriously, can we hold a fucking flag for more than 2 goddamn seconds? I'm really sick of fucking trying to figure out where these guys are at, because I hate getting kill streaks in because people are constantly moving everywhere. It really gets on my fucking nerves. But when I dropped my Harrier, I pretty much based it on them being on A. When you have A, you spawn in the playground area, so I dropped my Harrier on the buildings over that area, so it would be harder for them to shoot it down because the buildings was blocking them, but it would still get kills as they ran through the streets. So I'm pretty much going to wait out this streak because they're going to be in my general area, and most likely one would run towards C. Now this chopper gunner is a whole lot better because it actually goes over to where they are at this time instead of being a stupid ass piece of shit. And they have B at this point, and when you only have one flag like the central flag, I really don't know how the spawns work like that. These guys, they were just spawning all over the fucking place when I was killing them. But this map typically isn't good for chopper gunner because people usually get in the buildings and just wait it out. But these guys, for some reason, just as soon as they spawned, I was right on top of them, beating the shit out of them. And they were too stupid to actually get in the buildings and try to wait it out so they would actually spawn together in the buildings, I guess. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Just run out in the open. I don't know why people do that. I fail to understand why, when there's a chopper gunner and you don't have cold-blooded on, why people run around in it. It just fucking absolutely blows my fucking mind why people do that instead of just waiting it out. But at this point in the game, we have all of the flags, which is something that I absolutely freaking hate when my team does. But luckily some idiot on their team was using a care package, and that pretty much gave me a general idea where they were all at, because people don't understand how stupid care packages are, because they hover a helicopter over you and say, hey, I am on a kill streak. And this is exactly where I'm at, and I am completely vulnerable because I am getting a package and paying complete attention to it. That's why I consider those to be one of the stupidest things you could use. But this game pretty much shows the advantage of thinking and paying attention to where you spawn and what you do, because chances are the other team's going to do the same thing.